Shouts out Big Steve.
What up? Shout out Michael Bisbee. New intro. I got sick of the old one, and as I was editing it, I realized why I had that crappy ass intros, because I kept getting copyright claims. So I'll probably get a copyright claim on this too, even though it is a royalty-free song. YouTube is a bit stupid like that. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Quick little Cage Warriors breakdown. You know, I have 2 underdog bets. I haven't done a regional show in ages. I've been trying to. So here we are. Kiwi Brew, welcome, my friend. So we're going to try and make some money on Cage Warriors right before we make some money on UFC London, right? Let's not waste any time. Right after this, I'll be on Chronic Combat breaking down UFC. So I got to get into it straight away. So taped about 95% of the card, and the fights that I haven't taped, I know the fighters quite well. So Harry Shaw versus John Mashake. This is like a low level fight. Both guys seem to be strikers. Mashake loves to go for guillotines. Both can be grappled and submitted. Harry Shaw seems to be a much more technical, clean striker, but he's like minus 200 now on BetOnline. And Jan Mashake has actually hurt some people and submitted him. So I get Harry does look clean and should be the favorite, but I don't know if I can play this line. It's low level. You know, on Octagon, one of my second favorite promotions, I usually pass on this kind of stuff because I can always feel a upset coming because such low level bums. So let's move on. Joe Middleton, Craig Rawlings. Yeah, Joe Middleton's getting a squash. Crazy line. Pass there. Tommy Brunning versus Kadeem Perkins. First time taping Perkins. It seems to be a grappler. Just super crotch sniffer with minimum danger factor. Brunnings, I faded Brunnings before, and I really regret not fading him again. He was a massive favorite against Richard Carlos. Round 1 submission. It was like $8 at one point on BetOnline. I was like, man, I could have just put $100 on it to win like 700, peanuts. And yeah, I didn't do it. And yeah, I mean, he beat this Kevin Cesar, who's an absolute bum, and he got submitted before that too. So Perkins, can he grind him out? He's a slight dog. It kind of has my attention a little bit. And whenever he loses, he loses a decision too. But he does get his back taken a bit. He got this Afrim guy took his back, and this George Karuna guy took his back. So I don't know, man. It feels like a back and forth grappling fight. Who's going to have an edge in the grappling? I don't know. I didn't go in depth past 2 fights of Kadeem. But yeah, it's hard to back Tommy as a favorite, honestly. And contemplated the dog for a little bit. Alrighty, Danny Blundell versus Rafael Aronov. Aronov, one of the 2 Aronov brothers on this card. They fight pretty similar, just straight ahead. No defense. Good hardware, good power, good heart. They get submitted a lot. Aronov has 6 losses. And Tony Blundell is meant to be a submission guy, but he's absolutely awful. He's 6-3. His best win is, I don't even know, 9-30 heel hook. He has a bunch of decisions, leg lock, obviously loves the leg locks. Maybe this Kwama Hussein is his best win. Let me see where Hussein's at now. Wow, 5-6, beautiful. Yeah, he's awful. This Harry Davis guy out-grappled him, and now he's like 10-36. Let me have a look. 6-13, not that bad, but yeah, regional jobber, bad jobber. So, yeah, I mean, they gave this guy a Cage Warriors debut to Tariq Pell, and he got ran through. So I think Rafael Aronov, despite his 6-6 record, he should run through him. He's got good hardware. He almost knocked out Emil Brown before he got guillotined. He beat Jamie Richardson, which is a decent, test in Cage Warriors. He's like, if you can't beat Jamie Richardson, then you're a massive bum. And obviously got ran through by Sean Clancy. So, yeah, I think he runs through Danny Blundell. But do you want to parlay Aronov, a 6-6 guy that just is a bit of an idiot? Who knows? You can probably get away with it. All right. Riri Hudson versus Amim Grub. What a name. A grub in Australia is like the most offensive name, but hilarious. Speaking of Aussie Fight Fan, thanks for listening, my friend. You would know the meaning of grub. It's hilarious. Alrighty. So Riri Hudson, she's a striker. She always weighs 112. She's quite a small strawweight, dare I say, an atom weight. and she's got a ton of hype. She's a massive favorite. She lost as a pretty big favorite against Alish Smith, and Alish Smith is not bad. I was taping her. She's a eternal MMA chick from Australia, and she got knocked out there, and I really, really regretted it. I was like, wow, this girl's good, but I was cramming, and you know how it is when I cram. She knocked out this Jennifer Trudeau girl in 13 seconds. I played the under there at big plus money. That was an easy one because Jennifer has been knocked out before. It was a setup. And yeah, basically everything else, she's just getting knockouts. And if she doesn't get a knockout, she's fought this Frederica Di Filippo girl who's 2-3, and she won a 29-28, an uninspiring 29-28 on the feet. Filippo is now 0-1 professionally. She finished the amateur career 3-4. So yeah, I mean, if she doesn't get a round one knockout, which I don't think she should, because Grub is pretty tough, I don't see how this isn't competitive. Grub, first time taping her, she is, scrappy little girl. She's got a nice booty. That's sometimes I lean towards that. But yeah, she's. I don't think she has a professional background of anything. She was really bad back in 2021, as you see. I started a 3-fight losing streak. Chanel Dyer, quite good, very good boxer, better than Riri. She got outstruck there. Showed some good toughness, which I watched that fight just to see could Riri maybe knock her out. She lost to this Chloe Gowen, who is a judoka, and then she went on a good run. Lindsay Payne, decent win, rear naked choke, armbar, knocked out this Elwood girl, beat Heather in a decision, and then rematched Chloe Gowen in the last one that she lost to, and she submitted a rear naked choke. So she's obviously got the grappling path. I think she can compete on the feet. She has some knockouts, and as long as she doesn't get a knockout, I mean, $3. I got $3.50. Then I added another $100, $150 at $3, and it's gone up to $3.50. So people are obviously laying the chalk on Riri. So it is what it is. Good luck to everyone. I'm trying to be more aggressive. I've got like $300 to win $750, 1.5 units. So not even a unit. I said I'll be putting a unit on everything, just to get that mental block of doing half units, quarter unit shots. So yeah, I mean, Grub, man, I like it. I like what I see on tape. So hopefully she doesn't get sparked here, and hopefully she gets some takedowns going. But Riri is just not it. Alrighty. We've got some comments in here, so let's address. Akai Fuel Mountaineer, also known as NTT. I laid the choke on Hudson. Fight me. I don't. Why? Can you give me an explanation, mate? I honestly don't know why you could see on tape to lay the chalk. Big Bird, are we fighting the crook, Steve? Who is the crook? Let me have a look. Daniel Crook May. Ooh, I don't know. It's an interesting fight. Tell me why. Dogfather, Harry Shaw season. Harry Shaw. All right. I assume you moved that line, my friend. I need to go into depth into that one, but I don't know if I will because it's just two bums. With a name like Grub, you got to learn how to fuck people up at a young age. Yeah, I don't know. Does Grub mean the same thing in England? Grub just means like a bottom of the barrel human. When you call someone Grub in Australia, it's just super demeaning. Alrighty. So Cameron Stewart, Daniel Crooks mate, as my boy Pierce asked. Yeah, it seems like a mirror matchup. Stewart goes for takedowns, gets a lot of round one finishes. He couldn't really get it in his Cage Warriors debut against that Nazim guy, Yusuf Nazakato, I should say, not Nazim. And he just lost to 29-28 when his takedowns got stuffed in 2 and 3. So before that, takedowns, ground and pound. That's the only one I watched. The Suko Shamalov, because obviously not much time. And obviously he's getting rear naked chokes. He's got a decision here. I should watch that one. But he slowed down. So I need to see, does he slow down usually, right? Daniel Crooks, mate, I think he's more physical. He does the same thing, goes for takedowns, gets the back. He was guillotined by Marion Vitella, who's a good fighter, so no shame there. And Vitella loves the guillotines. Other than that, a lot of decisions. I watched this fight with Jordan Little in his Cage Warriors debut. Hit an illegal knee. I think he was winning that fight. He did get hurt with a head kick. So Jordan Little, not the worst fighter. He's scrappy. He's got good cardio. Probably a bad archetype for someone like Daniel Crooks. So, yeah, I mean, Daniel Crooks, slight favorite. It makes sense just because of the physicality. But I'm not really rushing to play it. Again, I think it's two bums. And, Big Bird likes the dog. So I got to go more in depth, but it seems like the grappling should nullify each other. And if it extends, who the hell knows who has worse cardio, right? The fact that this grappler was guillotined, like, who knows? Dare I say, Stewart will pass. All right, Jawani Scott versus Johnny Toma. I know a few people on Toma, massive line. It makes sense. You can just do a little poke. Jawani Scott, I don't know him that well. I know I parlayed him against Joe Harris, got away with it. And he beats Carano, which is an okay win. It's aging well. I think Carano won in his last one. He did. He's 6-3. He's not a bad fighter at all. He should have beat someone like Connor Wilson, just a stupid idiot. He's an athletic grappler, a bit of a decision merchant as well. Likes the rear naked choke. But massive favorite for a decision guy. I don't know. Johnny Tuma. I know this guy. I taped this fight versus the Honey Badger, Abza. And Abza's decent. He's in PFL. And he held his own, He got taken down. He got out a couple of rear naked chokes, took him down. He seems to be like an athletic guy. But I didn't tape any fights since. So I haven't taped the 2 fights against Yusofi. But he seems competent enough to put up a fight at, $5 now? He went up to $8 as well. So, I don't blame people. Dog pass for sure. I mean, Giovanni is not even parlayable. It's crazy. George Hardwick. Coming back, defending his title that he never lost after losing as a decent-sized favorite in Contender Series. Yeah, he's fighting Samuel Silva. I know Samuel Silva well. I played the under 1.5 rounds in LFA against Lidio. Lidio damn well murdered him like 3-4 times, and he survived, and then he won a split. He's kind of chinny, but he kind of has power as well. As you can see, a lot of knockouts, KO1. Knocked out Anderson Ferreira, who's also one of the biggest glass cannons in LFA Brazil. I also played the under there too, and it missed by 18 seconds. So, man, I tell you what, LFA and unders and LFA Brazil unders with that idiot ref, Fernando Portela, is one of the most tilting experiences ever. Like, you have to play them because they have value. It's like 2 chinny Brazilians with power, and then they just always go over somehow. It's insane. He's got power, he's got heart, he's got cardio. Could he crack Hardwick? Maybe. But, Hardwick is good. I didn't even realize he had a fight after Contender Series. He fought this Christian Lorga guy and went to a decision, which is good. He's got good cardio. He comes on strong later on. He usually goes over 1.5 rounds, gets like a late round 2 knockout. Because, sometimes he gets grappled, rips the body. Yeah, I have to look into it. I'm not really rushing to parlay George Hardwick. He's fought a lot of people that are good matchups for him. And then, as soon as he had to step up, he lost. And Silva's dangerous. So it's a shame that we don't have unders. Massive shame. All right. Yavinder Singh versus Oli Sava. Sava was meant to fight Evans, pardon me. He's got a short notice debut Indian guy. So he's a massive favorite. He knocked most people out in round 1. Yep. I don't know. I didn't really tape the Singh guy. Tend to agree that he probably should be knocked out. Let me have a look. Knocked out in 30 seconds by Punya Sai. Knocked out another fight. Yep. Who knows? Probably a squash. Alrighty. Tariq Pell versus Emil Shaferi. This is my other underdog shot. Obviously, he is an underdog. He went to pick him for a bit. He actually went to favorite Emil, and then he went to pick him, and now a little bit of money's coming on Pell, and Emil is a slight underdog once again. So, I played $2.35 plus 130. I thought he should be pick him. Tariq Pell, I actually regret not fading him against Sean Fraser. He was a decent-sized favorite. Basically, he's a grappler with some sort of power. It looks like he has power. He knocked out Michael Blair. He knocked out Danny Blundell, who we just spoke about. He's going to get knocked out by Aronov as well, so he won't mean anything. But he's a guy that grapples, and he got grappled himself by Sean Fraser. He doesn't go to decision much. And I thought he might be a bit overrated on the line, and he was. But Emil, I led massive chalky number against Aaron Johnson. I think I played the under there too. He ran through him. He's a really, really physical wrestler. He was rinsing Simon Patrizzi That's his only loss. And, with the wrestling, and he was also hurting him on the feet. I think he has the much better hardware. The only thing that is not the best is cardio. And in that fight, he kind of slowed down and became a little bit hittable, and he got knocked out by Simone Patrizzi in round 3. That's probably the best opponent that he fought. And other than his first fight, I'll tell you right now that he had a draw with, which is Anastasio Chetrigirdaris. Jesus, what a name. That guy is now 6-2 as a pro. So that's the other fight that he didn't really win. But he had a draw. So it's back in 2021. So he was like 21 years of age. So, yeah, I think he has really good potential, this Albanian guy. So, with the power that he has, with the wrestling that he has, I just thought, I'll fade Tariq Pell once again. And he might slow down. Maybe Pell actually does have decent power and he hits him, knocks him out, because Shaferi still is hittable. But it is what it is. I have to take advantage. Shaferi could also look massive favorite at this line. And then, you have a great bet. So I have a full unit to win, I think, $500 to win almost 700, $800. So, going hard, full units. No time to be a pansy. Win or lose, it is what it is. I'm going to keep it going. 6th round. Will Curry versus Aronov is what we are live for. Alrighty, we're getting there. Charles Joyner versus Yannick Bahati. Right, these guys already fought. It's a rematch. It was the biggest shit show fight. I see people saying, I have to play Bahati again because how that fight played out. I was a neutral. I had no money, and I honestly thought Bahati won. And the fact that was a draw, massive robbery and unfortunate in my eyes for the people that played Joyner. But I think it was a massive favorite anyway. Not Joyner, Bahati. But Bahati usually flakes. He gets knocked out a lot. And Joyner couldn't do it. So I get why the money's coming in on Joyner. He's a massive favorite again. He was a bit worse, but now he's gone below minus 200. I think it's because whenever they were on the feet, Joyner was landing. It was a damage versus control type of fight. Later on, Bahati would lose position, and then Joyner would land a few strikes, and it seemed like he was going to win the round anyway, despite being taken down and controlled for a little bit. So, Joyner's the younger guy. You expect him to make the improvements. He has to just fix the grappling path. So I get it, but I don't know, man. I haven't done anything with that fight yet. So it could look very square if you play Joyner, but he could get around 1 KO. Alrighty, Will Curry versus Eli Aronov. This is the brother of the other Aronov. I know him well. I faded him with Zachary Reese on Contender Series. And, taping him, retaping him, I almost had cold feet. I watched this fight with Marus Kazarovsky, and he did well. He finished him. Kazarovsky was also on Contender Series, and he's a decent fighter. He's 12-2 now, I think. 11-2. He's got some good wins, right? He just beat Rafael Carvalho, who's the ex-Bellator champion, round 4. He beat Alessandro Gombolini, 12-3. Graham Park is good. He knocked him out in round 1, 8-2. Lost to Mario Sosa. Not the best guy, but he should have won that fight. Guillermo Miranda, 18-8. He's a really good fighter, so Aronov just steamrolled him, And the thing is here, how will the grappling look? Aronov is like a massive ape. Goes for takedowns. Has good hardware as well, just like his brother. Decent power. He's a little bit hittable, but he seems like someone that could potentially make Curry flake. Unless Curry gets on top and does some damage himself. Maybe gets a submission, because these Aronovs, they seem to have issues with submissions, right? He's obviously quite hittable. He was dropped by Marius, but he instantly reversed. So my question is, how is Aronov's bottom game like? I watched his whole career. 5 years ago, he's on bottom and he just gets an underhook. Not an underhook, he just rolls to his turtle to back and just instantly stands up, or even while gassed. So that shows me some urgency, which is good. And then in the Marius fight, he gets dropped in round 2, and then instantly digs an underhook from half guard and gets up. So yeah, that's the only 2 snippets we have. So yes, he's potentially a good get up guy. Can he make Curry flake? He's also had 2 years off, and he's only 28 in his prime. So who knows? Curry at this price is really hard to back. And a lot of people are down on him because of the Jordan Santos fight. But Jordan Santos was, despite him being a bum, is a bad matchup, right? Styles make fights. We saw Aussie beat Jordan Santos because it was a 3-round striking fight. And Will Curry doesn't have striking for a 3-round striking fight. So when he couldn't get takedowns, it was all off. But can he get takedowns on Aronov? We just don't know. We just don't know. Literally don't see anyone going for takedowns on Aronov. So I think the striking you can give to Aronov as well. I think he has more power. He's willing to throw it down. I need to tape some more. But obviously this mixed Stanton fight will be good to tape. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Alrighty, Nick Bagley versus Kawani Lopez. Yeah, Bagley minus 200. Pretty generous line. He's usually a massive favorite. He usually takes people down and instantly rear naked chokes him, gets the back. I don't know, man. Kawani Lopez is not bad. He's not bad at all. He only has 2 losses. One of them is Hardwick in a title fight. That was a tough one. He kept hurting Hardwick, but eventually gassed and slowed down from the pace. There's not many people taking him down. He's very strong early. I went into tape just trying to focus on that. He got taken down by this Matheus Porion once. He got up early. He's very strong and he throws people off. Wellington Prado also a grappler, but he got knocked out before he could do anything. So I think Nick Bagley needs to shoot for a takedown ASAP. He was dropped a bunch by Leon Kavanagh, who's fighting in the UFC. He still won that fight. He was hurt by Ben Ellis. That's his only loss, professional loss. He didn't really shoot in that fight. He waited till round 2 when he was already gassed, and then Ben Ellis stood up immediately and then proceeded to outstrike him. And I think that's why he shoots ASAP now. So I think Lopez can KO him. I think the guy hits extremely hard. He can KO anyone. He's a really good dog to back just because of that KO upside. He was a $2.75 underdog against Wellington Prado in LFA as well, who's a grappler, and he just ran through him in under 2 minutes. So Nick Bagley needs to shoot ASAP. Lopez almost got submitted by Harry Hardwick in round 2 when he gave up his back. So yeah, I get people laying the chalk. I know someone that parlayed him. So I get it, but it's a bit of a volatile fight. Like unders would be great here, but yeah, we'll get nothing. And the main event, Harry Hardwick versus I would say the lesser brother out of the Hardwicks, but I've come to like his style. Versus Javier Garcia. Javier Garcia, I don't think he wins this fight. He needs to kind of get a grappling pace going on. Harry, he doesn't have much striking. Harry's not a perfect fighter, but he had a much harder fight against Lopez, in my opinion. A guy with better hardware, a guy that could have KO'd him and had the power advantage early. And Javier Garcia, I don't know. I don't really know what he's going to do here. It seems like a split decision merchant. He's already lost to grapplers before. He lost to Brian Souza, who outstruck him. Chase Gibson outgrappled him. He barely beat Roberto Hernandez. Hernandez is like a jab and leg kick decision merchant. So, yeah, I think Harry should style on him over the 5 rounds eventually. So, yeah, massive favorite. Wouldn't really parlay him, but it is what it is. So, co-main event is a sick fight. It is. It is. Big step up for Nick Bagley. The dog father, leaning Aronov, hoping Curry takes some steam. Well, unfortunately, some money came in on Aronov, which is unfortunate, but who knows? We have, 20 hours, less than 20 hours. Who knows? Now that the limits are open a bit, line should fluctuate. So that's about it. So 2 bets. What are they? Mim Grub as a big underdog versus Riri Hudson, who's an atom weight. No grappling upside. Give it to me. And Emil Shaferi, right? Plus $2.35. Now he's plus 110. Maybe pick him. Who knows? So yeah, I think this is a close competitive fight between 2 prospects. So it is what it is. Things that I'm liking, maybe Harry Shaw, but minus 200. I'll see. Tommy Brunning, always fading that guy. Maybe Aronov parlay piece. I guess I'll look into Crooks May and Stewart since Piers pointed it out. Hardwick Silva. I'll watch that Hardwick fight. And maybe Joyner. Maybe I get on the Joyner. My gut is telling me the Joyner steam chalk is best. Aronov, some good potential there. But yeah, that's it. I'm jumping off. Like and subscribe. Write me your best Cage Warriors bet in the comments. And in 7 minutes, I'm going live on Chronic Combat to break down the UFC. So jump in.